Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 2 of Let's Play Factorio 0.13, and we're playing vanilla, of course, and yeah, so everything's going pretty good. I went and handcrafted a lot of things, and I'll show you them, what we have here. So one of the first things I'm going to want to do, of course, is produce some sort of power. Now, our base is a little hard to decide, like if we want to go up or down, but because there's a lot less water, I should say, down here, I think I've decided I'm going to work my way down here instead. So because of that, I think I'm happy to build my power plant anywhere up here. It doesn't really matter too much for me. My power plant could be separate from the rest of my base as well, which won't hurt. So maybe even up here. I don't want to go too far because I want to feed it with coal, so you want to keep that in mind too, of course. I think in this area would be the best, just because I'll have coal running over here anyways. Now I prefer to build mine horizontally, left and right, I guess, rather than up and down. That's just my my preference on that. I want to build above the iron, even though I don't think it's a big deal. You know, when we're playing vanilla, it's not like you have to grab all the iron itself, but I prefer to. Don't want to lose any accidentally. I might be making this a little too big too. I don't probably remember exactly how big things are going. Oh, look at these guys. We're going to need those very soon, but might as well make as many as you want to start off with. It'll speed up research quite a bit for us, so. So I'm just clearing some of these trees out just so we can fit the power through here. I kind of go big on the power rate when I start, that way I don't have to touch it. Pollution-wise, it's not usually a problem because you have it's flexible in the sense that it won't run it all at once, so it shouldn't produce too much power pollution. It might use a wee bit more pollution than normal, just because some of the machines might go on and off a wee bit when there's an influx in power consumption. But I'm pretty sure actually the power with steam power is pretty good. It's a pretty good little setup that they have for it. So I guess we'll start here. And then, one thing I didn't make was any pipes. We'll get to that in a minute. And then I'm going to have these guys running right about probably here. I guess, you know what? Maybe nah. Just need a bit of room. Don't need too much room. So we'll start over here. And the way I do it usually is, and this is quite a common one, is a 14:10 ratio. I don't know if that's even still relevant this day and age, but that's the way I've been doing it for pretty much since I've ever played Factorio, and which is I think well over 2 years probably now. But basically 14 boilers to 10 steam engines should keep up. There's actually more math to ratio on that. There's something that you can do that's slightly more efficient, I think, or under efficient, but I don't know. To me, it's like one of those things like, okay, you're giving me a headache. I don't care that much to, figure it out. So, yeah, we're going to probably bring up the coal on this side. So it's going to go up here, and then we can expand our power plant up the top further and further over time. So that'll give us some opportunity. So this is when you go conveyor belt crazy. And all the conveyor belts I have are just not going to be enough probably for what we're going to do here today. But it will get us started. So I like to bring them up here down the middle. The reason I'm bringing them down the middle like this is because we're going to end up having another set of steam engines on the other side doing pretty much the same thing. And yeah. There you go. Just build a bunch of those. Well, actually, don't you get a couple? Oh, yeah. And then that way should help. Now, underground belts, or underground, pipes are good. I don't know if it still does it. I'm pretty sure it would. They're basically, they teleport. So as long as you can get this belt, like this pipe from here to here, I guess this is the maximum length, is the equivalent of just 2 pipes, I believe. Except it teleports. It's the way the code works, and it's kind of an efficient way to do it. Plus, it makes everything neat. You should get used to, even though it costs a bit more, to just do underground pipes, just because it keeps your base a little more clean, and you can't say no to that. Now, the next thing I'm going to be using here is burner inserters. Now, some people think this is an odd one. This isn't actually an important one, to be honest. The reason why you use burner inserters is because if you're having a power influx, like the power's like, these guys eat coal to feed themselves, and then that way when the power is kind of low and things are running slower, your power production is still going at the same speed or maximum speed as long as you're producing coal. Now, of course, your coal line starts running out, of course you're gonna have problems, but basically it helps at least for little spikes. Like, let's say you have a whole bunch of laser turrets and all of a sudden you got a big spike. You don't have to worry all of a sudden there's a big gap and everything's going to fail in like 5 seconds. It should still work decently. So it's just like one of those little things that a lot of people, I think, have done for a while. I used to use a mod that would, when you place it down, it would basically feed it a free piece of coal or something, or just give it enough to pick up a piece of coal off the belt. And now they've basically programmed it so it does it in the base game, and I think 12 actually. So it's a nice little feature that I believe a lot of people probably use themselves. So outside of that, I don't really have much use of a burner inserter at all anyway. So okay, so I'm going to put, this will be our first one. We'll start over here, I guess. What do we got here? Yeah, here, and just to be, I guess we can start over here. It doesn't need to be right there. There you go. We'll have the belt going here. I guess it really doesn't matter where I'm going, except I didn't want to cut right through the iron. But you know what? We don't have to. We can just go up like this. There you go. And I'm probably going to be running out of conveyor belts very soon, so probably should just be doing that on my downtime when I'm not crafting anything. And there you go. These won't have power because they just don't have power yet. So we have lots of wood. I'm going to be breaking down more wood. It's probably a good time opportunity just to start with putting some wood in the first boilers here. I'll even do it the first 2. That'll be more than enough. You'll see the power grid up and running. The miners itself will start sending the coal down. The reason I have miners on either side is it kind of helps keep the belt balanced. So now that both sides are fed, it'll be very handy for us. Let's go ahead and get way too much coal in our inventory so we can go around and hand feed the power for the very last time in these guys, because after this I won't be doing any more manual mining really, because we're going to be automating it all, but might as well just do it once more just for old time's sakes till we get it ready, just because we're using a little bit more materials than normal just because the nature of what we're doing here. There you go. Even for the coal production here, I don't think I'm going to even bother feeding it anymore, because this I will, because I'll need the stone over time, but the coal itself, I'm not going to want to stockpile any of that. So there you go. These guys should be picking up on their own now. Yep, there they are. Isn't that adorable? They're doing their little thing. And they store 5, so a lot of people, if you're a brand new player to Factorio, don't get, upset when it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why is it only storing 4 or 5 items at once? That's kind of what it does. Some other things might even, only do 2 at once, things like that. Especially when you go crafting, it's depending on how many crafting materials it uses. And I think it's ×2 or something like that. But don't get too upset on that. That is very normal and very appropriate. So there you go. That's all automated. So let's get our science up and running. Science is pretty important to me, and should be just as important to you guys. We're going to go ahead and just go boom, 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 boom. And here we go. So this kind of sucks because guess we can do them in 20s or something. Oh no, I might have an OCD issue here. Oh no, 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 no. What? Oh yeah, I have an OCD issue. Okay, we're not doing any research at all. I refuse to do any till I get the next 20 done because of an OCD issue here. No, we could break it down more, but no. We're gonna have 100 of them with all 5 filled up. But that's fine. What we can do now is we can start working on our automated mining setup. So these are electric drills, and we're going to work our way down, like I said. I don't think there's really another iron down here. There's one way down there, a little too far for me to care. So I think I'll work on over here. Actually, I might work on this patch here. Why not? So I'm going to work my way up anyway, so I might as well work on the first patch here. So we'll go here. For mining, the little green on the outside, that's where it goes out to. So it actually goes out to here where I'm standing when it mines. So this border, so keep that in mind. That's why you don't put them like this usually. Well, you can if you want, but I always space them out like this, for example. And that way they work. Now, I don't space the middle one because I like to share the same belt all the way down. This is not a tutorial series, but I do try to share some of my horrible knowledge with other people, just in case if you are a brand new player watching my stream ever, or if you're a new player watching my YouTube channel. This way you get some tips and advice, and maybe you guys out there will share tips and advice to me, and maybe I'll learn something from you guys. Just remember, I do sometimes record a little ahead of time, so if I don't use your advice right away, please don't be offended by it. Oh, there we go. We can now research, my friends. We can do the research. Okay, very first thing I would suggest you research, turrets is going to be one of them, but I would suggest you actually research this armor. This armor is God mode. It really is. And I actually forgot to save episode 1. I'm going to say I know it's not quite episode 1, but I should have done that. I think when you die, I think it's still the same, but when you die in single player, it's game over permanently. That's why there's an autosave system in the game, which I actually have off right now. Oopsies. Which I probably should put on right now before I continue. I just got to remember where the hell it is. Other? Tooltip. Single player autosave, never. Because I'm used to you playing multiplayer, and yeah. And then I did testing in single player, so I never bothered. Let's just say every 10 minutes for now. Right now, it's going to be pretty fast and simple. Later on, 10 minutes might be a bit of a headache, so I might, change it to 30 minutes, whatever. But if I were to die, I would have lost the entire progress so far that I had, so that's something to keep in mind. So we got our armored vest, which is awesome, and you can see the things that it'll work on over time, which I think is awesome now. That's really cool. I'm going to send a picture to my friend. Very cool. Okay, so, what else? Ooh, another quick slot bar, but that's greens, and that's quite expensive, so not yet. This is steel. We're probably going to want to go for the basics. Assembly machine, long arm inserter, that's a good one. Look how quick it goes. And then, actually, let's get a piece of armor going. So we want that armor on, which basically at low levels makes you invulnerable. You will not pretty much die unless something really bad were to happen, but usually you're pretty good. Maybe exploring and hitting a big worm would be a bad idea, but overall you should be pretty decent. The next one, oh, what is this? A filter inserter. Huh, it's purple now. A filter inserter. No, maybe that's different. What is a filter inserter? Filter? Is that my green inserter? Is that all it is? I can't tell anymore. They've changed the colors. I never gave them permission to change the damn colors. I'm lost. Okay, anyways, what do we want next? Fast inserters, probably. But it's not because of fast inserters, it's because of the underground and those guys. Oh, you know what? Probably machine gun, submachine gun would be a good one. And then, of course, I said turret too. So let's do turret. Because our base is getting a little, you know, expanded a bit. And the biters will hit key locations like the power plant first. So we might want to put a turret or 50 there. Let's go and make some ammo as well. And that way we have ammo on the go. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Okay, so the next one I would suggest now is I'm going to go for the machine gun. Because personally, it's a lot faster than the silly pistol. The pistol's kind of a toy more than anything, so. But like I said, with this armor that I'm wearing now, which auto-equipped when you crafted it, is very, very powerful for the first biter level. The next biter level to get, you know, of course it won't be so good, and that's why you want to definitely upgrade or keep up with it over time. But it's going to be decent. Oh, and we made a radar, that's right. So the radar itself is very, very nice because it'll help scan the area over time and expand our view distance, maybe even give us a tactical advantage on biter locations, which could be a pretty big role for us later on. Okay, so I guess the next thing here, we want the underground belts, etc. Okay, so submachine gun, we'll craft that next. And then two turrets maybe? You don't need too many turrets to start with. They won't send, you know, 100 biters at once, unless somehow you polluted 100 biters at once, but we're not playing some crazy dense game either, so it shouldn't be so bad. How's our production stats going over the last 10 minutes, or 1 minute? Okay, so of course we were starting to automate this stuff down here. We're gonna need a lot of materials, sadly, for this. We've gotten some inserters here done. We're gonna need quite a lot of stone furnaces for the process as well. So we might as well go crazy on those. It'll be fun, but we'll need a lot over time. There we go. And how much we got left? 8, 16, 32, 40. Okay, so I got 40 left. Stack filter inserter. Oh, is that new thing? That is so cool. I've never seen that in, you know, in use yet, but I hear it's pretty pretty taxing actually. But I've never ever used it yet, so that's a cool one. It's getting to the point where I'm like, oh, you know, I'm kind of happy with what I have, but we should probably use up some of what we have here. So let's do lights. We could say no to lights, right? And these guys, we're going to probably bring these all the way down here. It won't be, you know, 2 feet. Holy crap, that thing has a hitbox on it. Ooh, that's a mighty hitbox. Okay, dun, 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 dun. We're going to probably need, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these at least. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll just do 10, and then let's do 10 of those as well. And then look at how many conveyors we just ran out of the transport belts, conveyor belts, whatever you want to call them. I call it transport belts in this game, so we'll just make a whole crap load of them again. And then what else are we doing for the research now here? Well, not much there. We have this. I have 30 left, don't I? So I might waste it on that just because I don't have much on anything else. It does unlock other key components over time. I really don't care about the walls per se right away, so let's just do that one. And that'll finish up what we have. Of course, we'll be automating our science making anyway, so that'll be the key thing, and we'll probably do that for the next episode. For the reds anyways, and maybe even start the greens. So this is going just perfect. The belt itself will, over time, of course, be full right to the coal. But that'll take a wee bit, of course. I guess we can pick up this iron. We've gone through quite a bit. Okay, so we're bringing these guys down. Oh, look at this. We're already hitting our first little bit of an issue here. This is when I might even just say screw it and build some of the furnaces right here. But we do have the landfill. I'm kind of interested in seeing how powerful the landfill is, but we're going to have to automate before we get there. So you know what I might try? I might build our furnaces right here then. So this is going to be our input line, kind of, for now. And, you know, you got your little guys that come down the belt. Now, I haven't done this for a very, very long time. Now, I usually... It's up to you. You can put it on the sides. You can split and put it on the sides or put it straight down. I'm going to go for straight down. Screw it. And then we're going to pull off here. And there you go. You just pull off the belt to go into there. And then on this side, we will go ahead and we'll deposit our friends. And then on this side, we'll have other belts as well. Yes, we're going to have a whole another set of belts out here. So there's going to be quite a few belts here, and you might be wondering why. We need to feed coal, of course, into the stone furnace as well. So this will be depositing the plates on there, and then this outside one will be pulling from these belts to refill with coal over time, which will be, of course, very important. And then yeah, we can pretty much just bring these down like this. Now, of course, I wouldn't suggest doing what I just did there. You'll probably want a bit of a buffer because you're going to expand it. No matter what you do, you're going to expand it sometime. So you can go down here and then you can say, okay, I'm happy with it now. Let's go ahead and just join them all up for now. Like that. I'll probably, for now, just do a fast inserter. And I'll probably have it go into an iron chest. Ah, misclicked. Get my iron chest, or my fast inserter back. I'll just even do it from the back here probably. And then I don't think it actually matters. They don't push off the belt anymore. And then of course my iron chest in there. We'll have to power this all up. There we go. And I've designed this. I do these usually in two, if I remember to do it, that is. So these always have to be in twos, no more, no less. Well, it could be less, I guess. But it's kind of important for the future. And then that way I can expand this really easy and put electric furnaces in. But even with this design, I might not even care about electric furnaces because I'm probably going to redo it all anyways. But we'll see. We'll see. And there you go. It's already powered up. And the only thing that we're missing is, of course, the coal itself, which is what we're going to go and do up here. Now, it's up to you. You can use the same coal line, or you might choose to split it. I see some coal down here. I'm actually tempted to bring it up here. Or I might want to use it down there over time and redo the setup down there. We'll pull coal over here and we'll see how it goes. There you go. Electronics is finished. I do suggest, though, that you don't quite pull off the main coal line. The only reason I say that is because it's nice to have a dedicated line to your power plant. That way you can kind of keep an eye and monitor the flow of coal there, and if things aren't going too swell for you, you can know that, oh wow, my belt is never full, it's always almost empty, my power plant seems to suck all the coal up. That way you're not confusing it with, oh, you're sharing it with your smelting system, and maybe it's using up a lot of the coal, and this makes it a little easier. Okay. Oh, crap. I got a lot of coal on me right now. It's like, get out of there. And then probably just the same same setup here. You know, you can just pull these in like this. Maybe not even overlap those guys. It's up to you. Oh, yeah, be careful. You don't want to overlap the stone. There is stone here, so if you overlap stone, there's a chance that it will... There's not a chance. It'll eventually output the stone, and that would be naughty. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would be definitely naughty. And then basically we can travel all the way down here. And then all the way down here. And then somewhere over here, we can start transporting this down here. And so you can put the coal over here. Now, before we do that, we're going to start using some of these guys, splitters, etc. So the splitter here can split to this. You might want to do it a little sooner, though. So it'll go there, and then we can split it over here, use an underground transport belt, and put it over here, and there you go. And this should power this up perfectly for us. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do here now... Oh, yep, there it goes. So we have confirmation that it is working, and it should somewhat balance it. I think the math is 50-50 here. So what ends up happening is if this went and expanded quite further, it would get cut in half every single time. So half of it goes here, half of it goes here. Right now it's perfectly even. Now if I extended this further to another set, it would be a quarter of it goes here, a quarter of it goes there, and they get smaller and smaller. So keep that in mind. That's normally fine and perfect, but over time your output flow of the coal itself might slow down if you keep splitting it, of course. And there you go. That's working good. So I think we're going to set up our 2 turrets right now. The turrets themselves have... Wow! That's how far they go. Wow. That's quite far, to be honest. I'm going to put half of it in here. I'll make more for myself. We also made the nice machine gun here, so I'm going to take this gun for now and just hit Z and place it down on the ground over there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put one at our power plant now. And they tend to go over things like over here, so this should be perfectly safe. And then, yeah, we'll put this here. And this will protect this. And we're golden. That's a pretty good start. And I myself am gonna take a couple minutes break here in between this and the next episode, and we'll just let things run and see how it goes. And I might even do the copper one offline. I'm not sure. And then we'll go from there. So thank you guys and girls so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and we'll see you wonderful people next time.